Good afternoon, Cool FM live here coming to you from the practice gym at Buena High School. In the field, not on the field, with John and Jared, a special edition here at practice gym with Coach Tim Williams, our head wrestling coach at Buena High School. Wanted to come by and see what's going on and what's going on with the season so far, and talk about transitioning into the second half of the season. So, how you feeling so far with the season? So, how it's gone, Coach?
The season's been going really, really well. We had, I think we had about 62 kids show up this year for wrestling.
Wow.
Which is about average the last couple of years. A lot of interest in our town when it comes to high school wrestling. So
that's powerful.
As a coach, it's always exciting to see that many kids. This year, we have the largest girls team we've ever had.
I was about to say, I've not seen this many females.
Yeah.
I don't think ever.
So I think
in our program,
we have 7 varsity female girls wrestlers this year, which I'm super excited because that's showing the sport's growing.
Oh, big time!
Showing the sport's growing in both boys and females. And then the awesome thing here at the high school is that we can actually split. With so many kids, we actually have 2 different mat rooms going at the same time.
We'll show everybody that transition here shortly. So, who right now do you think is your biggest? Who's your biggest standout right now as far as in certain weight classes? Who's really that one that's just by far a cut above everybody else?
Sean Brown on the boys' side. He's been
what weight class
since
is
a
he
freshman. He's 130.
So we'll see him out here in a little bit. Okay.
I've had him for the last 3 years. This is a good year for him. He's doing really well. He's putting the work in. We also have Brody Clausen that's doing really well.
Brody's
on that side.
It's his second year.
And then Hudson
third year.
Hudson Amore is doing. We're expecting big things out of Hudson this year coming through. And then we have the bigger weights. We have Trenton Williams, and
he's getting ready to go. He was telling us he's getting ready to maybe go down a weight class.
He's thinking so, but
Dad slash coach is like, yeah, you're gonna listen to what I tell you to do.
One thing that
you want to put your best foot forward with him and make sure he's.
One thing we do with Coach Thomas
healthy.
and I is football and wrestling. We really kind of meshed really well, and we really try to put weight on the kids. We're in the weight room every day. So we finish every practice with weight room. So, and his aspect of it is, we're trying not to lose weight. We're trying to get bigger every.
Absolutely.
So
that's the approach I took when I was coaching here.
And then on the girls' side, Kelty's doing really, really well. And
went to the finals in Buena. We were there for that one.
Super excited
Heck of
to
a
see
match.
what, especially freshman, coming in to see what she's going to do. And then honestly, all the girls have been, when you're talking about going out and having your first match, that's intimidating. I talked to them. I said, you've already done more than most people will ever do.
Absolutely.
You showed up and you put the singlet on and you went out to the match.
Yeah.
And that's what I was super excited. So,
absolutely.
I'm excited that the program is growing on that side for sure.
All right. So tell us a little bit of some upcoming where you're at coming up as far as the first week back. You got some duels on Wednesday, and then talk about what we're leading into that weekend.
We always finish, which you guys saw, the Buena tournament. We come out of that tournament pretty beat up and give the kids a little bit of time, and then we go right back into it with them. We go to Buena Mountain View, and then we go into Benson. I've always really tried to support
the Benson Invitation.
Yeah, the Benson, the Lee Commodon. I really like to support a local tournament.
Absolutely.
And the coaches and I, a lot of us started together. When we all, I came over here for Buena, Douglas and Benson, we kind of started getting, knowing each other. So I like to do that tournament because it's good to know your coaches in other high schools.
Oh, of course.
And we really get along well. So, and that's actually a very well-run tournament.
Oh, it always has been. Yeah.
And then right after that, right into South Point. It's our only.
So the following weekend is South Point Invitation.
Yeah, okay. It's following the invitation, and that really preps us for our state, or our sectionals in state. Yeah.
And sectionals are going to be at Buena?
Flowing Wells.
Flowing Wells this year. Okay.
Girls, we separate girls and boys, and so we'll go from there. But we're looking pretty good this year, especially I always can kind of judge it, right about now, how many we've taken 7 every year to state. So I mean, I think we're going to be right about that. I think as of right now, we've got about 14 total that we've taken to state since I've been coaching. I think we'll be right there, taking about that many.
I think we're probably going to be about a dozen. Looks like it right now.
I'm liking that. I'd
like to see a dirty dozen go from Buena and get up there and represent and have a big, strong outing for our program.
Yeah, absolutely. We represent pretty well every year at state with wrestling. So.
Oh yeah.
And we've got a long history of wrestling at the school.
And now, now with Anthony Robles having his movie coming out.
Yeah.
Unstoppable, which should be hitting Prime Video on January 6th or 16th, something like that. But yeah, Anthony Robles had his high school career at Mesa High School in Mesa, Arizona, and he went undefeated his whole career, and showed how I actually had to coach against him at state, and this is when he was a junior. And I showed the match to my guy, and he was like, "Coach, seriously, I have to wrestle him first?" I said, "Yeah, he's number one it was like number 3 in the nation, number 1 in the state, undefeated, and to top it all off, this guy has one leg the entire time. He was born with one leg, so truly inspiring." Story coming up with, and it shows a little bit more how intense Arizona wrestling can be.
It's a huge Arizona sport.
Oh yeah, and seeing, like you said, you've got 11 girls or 12 girls. You said?
Well, we have 7 this year.
7, okay.
Which is, the other years I've coached, we've had 2.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a big improvement coming up. And boys, we've always really. I think last year we had over 65 total, but I mean, we're really bringing that. And I see that girl side of the sport really growing. And
so that's exciting. Yeah, I mean, and they have their separate state championships, but they're kind of around the same time, right?
Yep. But when I first started coaching here at Buena, we were all together. Girls wrestle, boys. It was all the same. I'm really glad that they separated.
Yeah, there's so much came throughout the whole state. So that was a good thing.
That was huge. But we're really this team's coming together and super excited. We're about to got the 2-pound allowance coming up, switch. So
true.
That moves all over the place.
Yeah, you got your 2-pound allowance after January
and stuff like that. So just excited to see where we're going to end up.
Well, that's good, Coach. I'm glad that we had a chance to get out here and show off and show these guys what's going on within our wrestling program. And we're going to take a look at the lighter weight classes. If we can move our camera, John, over into the practice gym. So got some weight classes that are much lower and much younger. We have some younger guys, a lot of younger guys on this side of the weight classes,
one
right?
Thing when I took over, it's nice that Buena has a facility to run 2 full mat rooms. I mean, we just have. I couldn't imagine trying to get all of these guys in one room trying to
yeah, I mean, where we just came from, I'm like, that would be an absolute nightmare.
And so I break it up. Everybody 175 and down is out here, and then I try to keep the heavyweights and the girl wrestling in there. I definitely try to keep some of those heavyweights from landing on my lighter weights.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that's definitely. Always got to keep safety in mind, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in this sport, it's always something going on. But this has worked really well, and I'm able to split my staff and kind of each one of them. We kind of coach different things. So.
Yeah. So I can tell you this over at my school where I'm at Lehman, I put out the sign-up sheets for the next 3 sports, and we're offering wrestling, and 4 out of the 6 are girls.
Nice.
So
that's very.
We have
exciting.
a lot. We're gonna have a heavy girl team this year, which is exciting. So they might have to wrestle some dudes, but we'll get them ready for that. We'll get them prepared to where they need to be. So
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to see where this is coming. And like I said, wrestling is one of those things that it's a sport for a 106-pounder and it's a sport for a 285-pound kid. You know, we hit almost all aspects of what size-wise and everything like that. And I like that. It's it's a team sport, but it's you against your opponents.
Sure,
so.
and you also become one of the most in shape athletes you've ever been.
Yeah.
I remember when I wrestled in high school, and I was the best shape of my life.
And that goes
incredible.
in. One of the philosophies I have is I brought a strength and conditioning coach in. We lift every day. We do conditioning, we wrestle, but we lift. Weightlifting is a very strong component of what I think an athlete is. And
absolutely.
I think it just comes into play, and I think that's overlooked sometimes in this sport.
True. I see. Last year they unveiled a new wrestling facility for Iowa, and all I saw was weight room.
Yeah.
First, and it's like all you see is their weight room. So it's like, yes, the weights are just as important as staying conditioned and flexible, and doing all your things that you need to do with keeping your endurance up. That's the biggest thing, is endurance in this sport. So
the mic on this.
Oh, okay. Let me get that clicked on there. Here we go. Sorry. So, what do you think you could see yourself doing besides, we know we have the wrestling program over at Mr. Santa Maria from Ed Morse.
Yeah.
Chevrolet, Ed Morse, but, having Chain Wrestling Academy here in town, and besides that being a plus, and where would you see yourself being able to recruit or getting more word out to try and get things going for seeing your numbers go up, even if you want to go up any further, because you got plenty, you got 50 plus kids, and that's a huge improvement from years past. And at the 5A level, that's probably about average, like you said.
Yeah.
So.
Well, honestly, it just comes down to, we run a really good, my program, we have good kids. We have, just the word of mouth of saying what the program's about and who's out there. Like you said, Bob and the wrestling program's there. We're here because if you want to wrestle for Buena High School, this is our program, and it's been working out really well. And the fact that, we've actually put out a pretty good product, and wrestling itself as a whole has really taken off in this state. So, and actually in the county itself, I'm really excited. Every time we go to the Benson tournament last year, to see all the other schools.
Now, do we see any out-of-state schools that come in?
I don't think so. I think some of the northern, Flowing Wells was there and things like that. But for the most part, it's a lot of the in-county.
You see Safford.
No, Safford. Thatcher was there last year. But that might change since we got Coach Andrews, his dad's head coach at Safford. So,
that's why I was trying to figure it out. I was trying to put two and two together. I'm like, I remember where I've seen him before. I'm like, I know it was somewhere else besides football.
He's come from a huge wrestling background, and dad's a major coach out of Safford.
Yeah, I've been there. He's a Hall of Famer pretty much.
Yeah, so
that's going to be huge.
But we're all running really good programs at all the schools in the county, and it's good to see that intermix and playing wrestling and all that stuff, to see that happen. So,
well, we appreciate you letting us come in and check your practice out.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you see Brock Santa Maria right there. We're excited.
We get to see him on the mat.
For
Buena.
Yeah, for Buena.
Coming in here, transferring.
And he placed second last year at 2A.
Yeah,
and,
for Tombstone.
And so,
he was there at Tombstone. I remember that.
He's going to do it at the 5A level.
Yeah,
I know he'll
just jump right into it. He's one of those specimen wrestlers. The guys, he took it on a lot more serious than his brother. His brother was more football minded, and Brock was like, "Nah, I'm gonna stay to the mats, and the mats are my friend." And he's tearing it up on the mat so far.
He gets to wrestle. I told him, I said, Marana Mountain View is probably one of our toughest quad meets, right away that's where throw him right in the mix. So we have Marana Mountain View, and Cienega all in the same.
That's gonna be a match right there.
But yeah, he'll be competing at that, and then
it would have been fun to see Micah even show up over there.
Yeah.
Wow. We might see if we can try and travel to that one. I don't know.
They run.
It's hard to get back into the groove with it.
A good program, and so. But he'll be getting right in, get some matches in right before sectionals. So, super excited to see what he's. So
Kelsey's record so far.
I know. Well, she got a
second place at. Thank you.
What is she?
Appreciate you listening. She's 13-2.
13-2.
It's a great. That's a great freshman record so far.
Absolutely.
That's good stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing her grow and just go nuts in this program.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw her last year in the middle school meets, and when I was coaching middle school wrestling, I'm just like, oh my gosh, she's gonna destroy people.
Yeah.
So, and she was one of our first radio shows. We were on the radio with Cool FM. We had her on a radio show. And she was very well spoken as a little 13-year-old. You know, it was pretty impressive. She had just gotten back from nationals, from freestyle nationals, and I guess her team, out of 23 schools all over the nation, or 23 clubs all over the nation, Arizona finished 7th.
Wow.
So, you know, she's been at it since she probably could tie up wrestling shoes on her feet. You know, she's amazing. So I'm excited to see what you guys are going to bring to the table in the second half of the season. We're going to cover as much as we can of where we can. If it's only medal rounds on Saturdays, we'll get there to your invitationals, and you know the duel will definitely be there for the 22nd for sure. So looking forward to seeing the dominance continue. The even at the JV level, you know that feeder group that you can just take. You want to have your guys just as intense and be ready to be wrestling at the varsity level.
Well, and that's something that we finally got it approved, but we're actually taking our JVA to Benson as well. So we're taking 2 teams to Benson.
Holy cow! Here first, folks.
Yeah,
2 teams will be at Benson representing Buena.
We talked to their AD. They kind of made it work. So we're actually going to bring our varsity and our JVA, and just to get the kids some experience.
So how many teams are we going to see at Benson?
You know yet? Quite a few, I think. I mean, probably around 20.
Yeah, I was going to say roughly. 20. It's always usually about 18 to 25, somewhere in there.
You know, and then this is the first year that they're also doing a girls tournament with them.
Good.
And that's exciting.
Now, do they usually use both gyms?
Yes, they absolutely use both gyms.
Man, that classic gym that's set aside on the backside, I love going in there and seeing things happen in there. It's pretty cool.
But having the ability to have both our boys team and girls team at the same location, that's, just builds team camaraderie.
Oh, yeah, big
Everybody
time.
likes to cheer for everybody,
Heck yeah.
and, it's always a good time. I really don't like it when we have to separate and go different areas, stuff like that.
Now, what we need to start working on is seeing how we can get a wrestling program started at Coach East. What do you think, Coach?
Yeah.
Hearing that, Miss Dr. Rottweiler?
Yeah, I think.
Check it out. Let's see about getting that program started. It can happen.
Yeah.
You got enough wrestlers within this county alone that we could start
I will tell you,
very dominant
Coach East
wrestling program.
Coach East College has been improving dramatically and on all kinds of ways. I know on my other side of work, we're doing a lot there.
Sure.
Coach East, Dr. Rottweiler is doing a great job.
Yeah, and they want to try and I've heard them talking about moving a lot of their sports from Douglas up this way. So, we might see that happen in transition within the coming years. But I'd love to see that happen. That'd be so cool to, get that program started.
Yeah, well, the way wrestling is in Arizona, I'm shocked that U of A and those don't have.
They used to have a club team in Arizona at the University of Arizona, but you don't see them anymore. Not as much, but of course ASU is ASU. They're always dominant. But I appreciate you giving us a little bit of time.
No worries. Glad anytime.
Any other things you want to share before we?
No, just come on sport. Some things that I've seen is every time we do a home meet, usually the bleachers are pretty full, and that really is impressive for the kids.
You guys get
because
huge numbers on our YouTube.
When we go to other matches in other schools, you get like a couple parents there or something like that, and we just had one. I think there was one other parent from another school, and we had more parents from our school there. So
that's what I love about
support is huge.
Yeah, that's what I love about us being able to live stream so much and do what we're doing to grow what we're doing at Cool FM. But I mean, it's so neat. Like me and John, when we're doing Buena football games, we got people coming in from Poland.
Yeah.
And like all over the world. They're like, hey, thank you so much. Yeah. Germany and all kinds of places. Like, thank you so much for doing this. I can see my grandson, or I can see my niece and nephew, and all this. That's what it's all about.
My daughter and son-in-law are military. They always are watching it. Like, so we appreciate it.
That's good.
We appreciate
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Well, Coach Williams,
thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, guys.
And look forward to covering the rest of the season coming up. And hopefully we might, if we get a good enough nucleus of kids to go to the state championships, John and I will drive up to Phoenix to the Veterans Coliseum, and you want to talk about something serious, man. 16 mats, one gym.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Beautiful. It's where the Suns used to play.
Yeah.
So it's at the state fairgrounds, and man, they put on a show in that thing, man. And they make you wear a shirt and tie. Coaches?
No.
Is it optional now?
Yeah,
okay,
it's optional.
I don't know. So some of them, I've seen that. Like they're walking out there and they're all shirt and tie, and I'm like, whoa, what's all this? This is serious.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat though.
I'm not kind of a shirt and tie guy. So.
I know that. I was like, you're out in the field all the time, we love what you do for us in Cochise County. Thank you for keeping us safe in what you do as a deputy, and all your amazing programs that you're coming up with, and what you do with Cochise County and Sheriff Daniels and all that.
Yeah.
And all your guys on the force are doing a wonderful job. So
well, his philosophy has always been, he was a coach here.
Yeah.
He's like community oriented, right?
Mm-hmm.
The kids almost half my staff is law enforcement.
Exactly.
So it really brings the kids together with law enforcement. Kind of shows that we're not always the bad guys.
No, not at all. So again, Coach, appreciate it.
Yep, thank you guys.
And we'll talk to you guys soon. That's going to be a wrap for In the Field with John and Jared. Thank you so much, John, for being behind the camera, doing everything you did, and coming out real quick, doing this. And we'll talk to you again soon, probably Saturday morning. And until then, have a great rest of your